All right, San Antonio Spurs beat the Timberwolves 126 to 97. And yeah, man, Spurs are here. We're up 3-2, going back to Minnesota for game 6 to see if the Spurs can wrap it up. We'll get to player stats in a second here, but here's the lead chart for the game. The Spurs' biggest lead was 30 points. Minnesota's biggest lead was 2 points, and that was right here really early at the start of the first quarter. Spurs did kind of what we usually do. We come out in the first half. We usually storm teams. We got up about 17 points right here at one point in the second quarter. Come out to start the third. We've seen it all regular season long. We usually do this. We come out pretty flat in the third quarter. They're able to tie the game, but to our credit, we didn't lose the lead. And then we come out with the third quarter avalanche and then just continue the avalanche in the fourth quarter and end up winning by, I want to say it was 29, 126 to 97. So yeah, 29 points if my math isn't wrong. But just an awesome game for the Spurs. 11 points was the biggest run. The game was only tied 3 times. There was only 2 lead changes for the entire game. So a lot like game 3, when Wemby's out there and healthy, seems like the Spurs usually win by 20 points or more. In game 1, Wemby was healthy. He played the whole game. He was 0 for 8 from 3. I want to say De'Aaron Fox was 0 for 4. And the Spurs still lost that game on a potential game winner from Champagny at the end. So it seems like if Wemby is healthy and out there and isn't having a really off night offensively, the Spurs, at least in game 3 in this game, win by 20 plus points. Spurs get the 50 rebounds. Minnesota has 42, so that was pretty close. Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, just Minnesota's whole team. They do a great job of gang rebounding, and Rudy can really battle down there with Wembanyama. Wemby did have 17 rebounds in this game, but the rebounding battle wasn't a huge gap. It was pretty close. Spurs get the 25 assists. Minnesota has 17. We still had an off night shooting the 3 ball. We haven't had a game where we've really been on shooting the 3 ball in this entire series, so possibly in game 6. We'll see if the Spurs can have a 3-point avalanche. I feel like we're kind of due for one. We're at least due for a game where we shoot 35-40% from 3, because I don't think we've done that for any of the games so far in the series. But we get the 25 assists. We did a great job moving the ball around. Timberwolves only have the 17 assists. We'll get to player stats in a second. We didn't do it last game, at least not in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, Anthony Edwards goes off. He scored, I want to say, 16 points in the fourth quarter, and I'm just so fucking frustrated yelling at my TV, why aren't we trapping Anthony Edwards? Why aren't we double teaming him at half court? Get the ball out of his hands. Now we're playing 4. Is my math right? We're playing 4-on-3 on the back end since we double teamed Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards passes the ball to Ayu Dosunmu, Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, whoever it is. And now we are playing 4-on-3 on the back end, but we're just trying to make Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, Mike Conley's a great decision maker, but just anybody other than Anthony Edwards, go out there and make a play. Go out there and try to make a shot against us. And again, last game, we're just not double teaming him, not trapping him. And then he gets on fire, and then by the time we're trying to double team him and trap him, he's just so on fire we weren't able to slow him down. But this game, thought we did an awesome job of just trapping Anthony Edwards at half court like we should be doing every single game. Just anybody but Anthony Edwards, make anybody else beat us, and that strategy worked really well tonight. We have the 9 steals. Minnesota has 7, so that was pretty close. We have the 8 blocks compared to their 4. There was a time in the fourth quarter, Naz Reid has the ball. He comes off a screen or something like that. Wemby's in the paint, and he turns around and goes right back out to the corner. I think he actually steps back and hits a corner 3 on that specific play. But I hear the announcer, once Naz Reid hits his little U-turn, the announcer saying, nobody wants to go into Wemby world. So I thought that was a funny-ass line. The paint really is Wemby world when Wemby's in the game. He just dominates everything around him. There was a stat just on field goals defended as Wemby as the primary defender, not just on paint shots, just basically if Wemby's guarding you one-on-one on the perimeter, wherever you're at. The stat was basically players being primarily defended by Wemby, they were shooting something like 38% for the series. And again, that's not just on paint shots. If Wemby's guarding you one on one at the 3 point line, wherever you're at, it's just so hard shooting over Wemby's length that players are literally shooting 38% being guarded by Wemby in this series. So it's not just guarding the paint. He does a good job moving his feet. Quicker guards can attack Wemby on the perimeter and blow by him. It happens a good amount of the time, but he just makes everything so tough. Even when you blow by Wemby, they're usually shooting like some crazy high arcing floater, or you have to throw something really high up off the glass just to get it past Wemby, because once you blow by, he's still behind you trying to get that chase down block. So we all know Wemby's the best defender in the NBA, and it's no surprise that players are really struggling when Wemby's defending them. Spurs have 15 turnovers. Minnesota has 13. They did a better job than us taking care of the ball. It wasn't a huge gap, but I want to say Julius Randle had 4 turnovers. Then I want to say Anthony Edwards also had 4 turnovers. So kind of like I was saying, we did a good job just swarming Anthony Edwards and making him make some tough decisions. He's gotten better at that as his career goes on. He can handle double teams and triple teams, but he's still getting better as a playmaker. Not to say that Anthony Edwards isn't a good playmaker already. Just like last game, or not last game, I want to say it was game 3, but Minnesota shoots 38% from the field, 27% from 3, 80% from the line, so the free throw shooting was good. But same thing as game 3. When Wemby's healthy and out there, they were under 40% from the field in game 3. They were under 30% from 3. So, of course, all our defenders, Fox, Castle, Harper, everyone just pressed up on all the shooters. We're swarming Anthony Edwards. When Julius Randle gets the ball, we're usually double teaming him as well. And just making Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle make decisions and have to play make again and again and again all game long, then we're just settling for Jaden McDaniels. Naz Reid and Conley were knocking down some threes out there, so we don't want to leave those guys open. But Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, when Anthony Edwards is taking his threes, they're usually tough step backs. He knocked one down in the first quarter. They'll set the pick and roll super high for Anthony Edwards. I think it was Luke Cornett in the game, but he's sitting there at the 3 point line. The same thing happened last game. Anthony Edwards comes off the screen. Luke Cornett's in drop coverage, waiting to meet him right there at the 3 point line. Then Anthony Edwards just fucking pulls up from like 35 feet away and still knocks down a long ass three. But we'll live with Anthony Edwards taking 35-foot threes. If he's gonna make those all series long, we'll just shake his hand and say good ass series, bro. We're 53% from the field though, 34% from 3. Again, that's not a bad percentage, but I feel like we're due for that game where we shoot like 37 to 40% from 3 as a team. We haven't had one of those in this whole series, so hopefully game 6 we'll be able to knock down some 3 balls, because we've been getting some good looks for Champagny and Vassell. I know those two guys were a bit off from 3 this game, but we've been getting a lot of good looks for them. We're 78% from the free throw line, so that's pretty decent. We hold Minnesota to 36 points in the paint. We score 68 points in the paint. So Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, just attacking in the rim like crazy. Even Vassell, Champagny, they had a couple plays this game where they're open for a 3, someone's attacking the closeout, quick pump fake, and drive to the rim for a nice little floater or a nice little layup. We almost had twice as many points in the paint as Minnesota. And again, it's just Wemby world down there in the paint. So many plays where guys come off a screen, they have a semi-open lane, and they see Wemby just anywhere in the vicinity and just hit that quick U-turn, because that's all you can really do. It's just so tough to get anything efficient in the paint whenever Wemby's down there. Minnesota has 12 second chance points. We have 11. That was basically a wash. Minnesota completely killed us in second chance points last game because Wemby was out of the game. So they're getting all sorts of offensive rebounds and getting these second chance looks. Wemby has 17 rebounds this game, so Wemby did a great job just getting the defensive rebound and finishing the possession. It doesn't matter how good your defense is. If you don't get the rebound at the end of the possession, you really didn't do anything until you finish out your possession defensively. We have 19 fast break points. Minnesota has 15, but we had so many plays where Minnesota makes a basket and we're just pushing the ball back up the other way and getting fast break points, but it doesn't count as fast break points because it's not coming off of a missed shot. But y'all know what I mean. Just San Antonio, just pushing the pace again and again and again, and just making things really tough for Minnesota. They make a basket, we're pushing the ball back up immediately, and now they're trying to match up, and we give teams a lot of trouble like that. We've been doing that all season long. Minnesota did get a technical foul for a delay of game. There was multiple times in the game where they'd make a shot and kind of tip the ball or knock it away to slow us down from immediately inbounding the ball after they made a bucket. They got a technical foul. I think it was Naz Reid in the first or second quarter because he had tipped the ball off of one of our made shots. But again, yeah, I just loved our pace this game. We're playing with the same pace we played with all regular season long, and we really looked like ourselves out there. We'll start with the Timberwolves. Mike Conley gets the 15 minutes. He's 1 for 2 from three. He's 2 for 3 from the field. Felt like he made 2 or 3 threes out there, but he just brings the veteran leadership. He can come in and be a secondary ball handler for the Timberwolves. So Mike Conley had a solid game. Terrence Shannon Jr. I like Terrence Shannon Jr. a lot. He reminds me of not how he finishes in the paint, but just his build. He reminds me of Donovan Mitchell or like a younger Russell Westbrook. He's not as explosive as Westbrook, but he hits that left to right crossover, right to left crossover. Terrence Shannon is left-handed. Everyone knows it, but he's just so explosive getting to his left hand. It's really hard to stop him. But we did a great job tonight. He takes 5 shots. He missed them all, and 4 of his shots were 3 balls. So again, like I was saying, trap Anthony Edwards, get the ball out of his hands, let Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, or Terrence Shannon Jr. take a 3, or Ayu Dosunmu. Just try to really close out on Naz Reid and Mike Conley, and then just live with anybody other than Naz Reid or Anthony Edwards taking those 3 balls. So Terrence Shannon, he kind of played right into our game plan, took 4 threes and missed all 4 of those. Did have 4 assists out there, so he did a decent job playmaking for the boys out there. Rudy Gobert, he has 4 points. He's 1 for 4 from the field, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block. Only plays the 22 minutes out there. Wemby was cooking him one-on-one. There was one play. Wemby's getting into his little Jamal Crawford crossover bag. It was awesome to see because Jamal Crawford is commentating, announcing. He's a commentator on the game. If y'all don't know, Wemby was working with Jamal Crawford over the summer. He's working with Hakeem Olajuwon. He hits a move. I think it was the between the legs, behind the back hezzy, and Jamal Crawford says that looks familiar because it was a move that Wemby learned from Jamal Crawford over the summertime. So it's so fun to see Wemby training with Hakeem, Jamal Crawford, these types of guys. It's one thing to train with them and then not see the moves in the real game, but Wemby will train with those guys. And I've seen him go to Hakeem Olajuwon dream shakes. I've seen him go to multiple Jamal Crawford crossover packages over the regular season, and he hit Rudy Gobert with one. If y'all remember, Rudy Gobert, he spins him around one time, then Wemby crosses back over the other way. So he had Rudy Gobert doing a 720 basically, spun him around once, crosses him over again, spins him around again. And I think Wemby gets a lefty finish on that one. I think that was early in the game. He just goes up. It wasn't really a dunk. It was like a hard-ass layup, but I'm sure y'all remember he goes to his left hand and just lays up on Rudy Gobert. And it's crazy to see because Rudy Gobert, we can hate on him for being clumsy, but he's one of the best defenders we've ever seen in the NBA, and Wemby was really cooking him one-on-one out there. The Spurs were running a set where it was Wemby, I want to say Vassell, Champagnie, Harper, and Keldon Johnson. So it was just Wemby with a bunch of shooters around him for the most part, and he was just playing one-on-one against Rudy Gobert in ISOs, and it's pretty much nothing you can do about that. If you don't help, Wemby's probably going to get a good shot against Rudy Gobert. If Wemby was primarily like a low post player, Rudy Gobert would be able to do a great job guarding him just down there in the low post. But when Wemby's 30 feet away from the basket and Gobert's trying to guard him one on one, and Wemby's getting into his isolation package, it's really hard for Gobert and anybody else to guard him out there in space. We talked about Conley, Terrence Shannon Jr. Kyle Anderson gets a little 3 minutes in garbage time. Once a Spur, always a Spur. Shout out to our boy Slow Mo. Naz Reid, he has 12 points. He's 4 for 10. He's 3 for 7 from 3. So that's pretty much what the Timberwolves need from him. 4 for 10 from the field, so 40% is not great from the field. 12 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 0 turnovers. Decent game from Naz Reid. His 3-point shooting, that's all they need from him. He's really good defensively. 40% from the field isn't great, but it was just a tough night for all the Timberwolves trying to play through our defense. But again, Naz Reid's 3-point shooting was good. His defense was good, and I felt like he did what he had to do on his end for the Timberwolves to possibly win the game. Julius Randle, he has the 17 points. He's 0 for 4 from 3. Like I was saying, same thing with Terrence Shannon Jr. I've already said it 3 or 4 times. Double team Anthony Edwards, swarm Anthony Edwards, get the ball out of his hands. Now Julius Randle is getting open threes. He can knock them down from time to time, but we're just going to live with Julius Randle taking wide open threes. If Randle can knock down 4 or 5 threes, at least it wasn't Anthony Edwards. We'll live with Julius Randle beating us beyond the arc if he can. But 17 points on 17 shots. Really bad efficiency, but like I said again, it was pretty rough for most of the Timberwolves out there. They shot, what was it again, like 38% as an entire team. But he does have the 10 rebounds with the 17 points, 1 assist. He had 0 turnovers. That's good to see. As a Timberwolves fan, they're getting Randle the ball. Again, on the back end, after we swarm Anthony Edwards, Randle gets the ball. Now he has to play make for the rest of his team. Only had the 1 assist, so we didn't do a great job playmaking. We're just getting the ball out of Ant-Man's hands, making Julius Randle have to find his own shot out there, basically. And he's a really good player, but again, just 6 for 17, really bad efficiency out there. Didn't have any turnovers. Always plays really good defensively. I'm a fan of Julius Randle, but he's not going to be a second option and be able to get the Timberwolves over the hump in this game, especially when we're forcing him into a bunch of mid-range jumpers and a bunch of 3 balls. Ayu Dosunmu, I'm a big fan of Ayu Dosunmu as well. He's a fucking blur out there. He had that big layup last game, that big and one down the stretch. He has the 16 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, dude. Only 2 turnovers. That's not bad. Ayu was all over the place, man. That's crazy. The 3 steals and 2 blocks. He's a blur out there with the ball in his hands. He does a great job playing the passing lanes. He has really active hands, playing defense one-on-one. Really good point of attack defender. He's 1 for 4 from 3, but he is 50% from the field. Just a really, really good game for Ayu, honestly. Almost a double-double with the 9 rebounds. He's not a big player. Ayu is maybe 6'3 or 6'4, but him and Julius Randle did a great job at least getting on the glass. And Ayu did more than enough on his end to win the game, but the Spurs they're just the better team than Minnesota is, especially with Minnesota missing Dante DiVincenzo and having Anthony Edwards with 2 banged up knees out there. But again, Ayu had a great game. I'm a big fan of Dosunmu. Jaden McDaniels is a dog, and I love Jaden out there as well. He has the 17 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. He does have the 2 turnovers. He's 6 for 13 and 3 for 7 from 3. Does knock down his 2 free throws. Just a lead on defense. Does a great job. He can switch pretty much 1 through 5. He's not going to guard like a Wembanyama, Joker, fucking Joel Embiid. He's not going to guard those giant centers one-on-one in the post if he gets switched on to one of those guys. But for the most part, Jaden McDaniels can play 1 through 5 defensively. He's just under 50% from the field, only 2 turnovers, puts up the 17 points on the 13 shots, knocks down 3 of his 7 threes. Jaden McDaniels, Ayu Dosunmu, Naz Reid, I thought those 3 guys played their roles really well. They did more than enough to win the game. Julius Randle just had the off game out there. Rudy Gobert didn't give them too much. Didn't really give them anything offensively, even though he makes a good impact defensively usually. But this game, he had a lot of trouble with Wemby out there. But again, Jaden, Ayu Dosunmu, Naz Reid thought they did what they needed to do out there. Moving on to Anthony Edwards, he has the 20 points. He's 1 for 3 from 3. It was that 1-3 in the first quarter I was talking about where Luke Kornet, it's straight away. Luke Kornet's waiting to meet him at the 3-point line, and Ant-Man pulls up from like fucking 35 feet away and just drains it. But like I said earlier, if he's going to shoot 35-foot threes all game long, we're just going to live with what happens after that. But Ant-Man has the 20 points. He only takes 13 shots. He's 6 for 13, so good efficiency. But like I said again, I was so mad last game. We let him catch on fire. We're not double teaming him. In my eyes, as soon as he crosses half court, double team him, get the ball out of his hands, and just live with whatever happens. He only takes 13 shots this game because we're just swarming him again and again and again. He's not able to get to his spots. I'm sure the boys watched a bunch of footage of last game. We're just forcing him off his spots. De'Aaron Fox got a lot of time guarding him. Stephon Castle as well. Felt like Fox was on him more than Castle, to be honest. Fox had a solid game offensively. His efficiency wasn't great, but De'Aaron is really, really good defensively, really active hands. He's really aggressive, really quick on the switches, just has great IQ defensively. They're running all sorts of pick and roll actions, dribble handoffs, and De'Aaron Fox is just right there all over Anthony Edwards on those handoffs and those switches. He was just so on point defensively this game. I didn't see one breakdown from De'Aaron Fox on defense. I knew he was a good defender, but he's been surprisingly good just playing defense on ball, just in our team scheme defensively. His name is Swipa. People just kind of think of him just picking people's pockets, getting into the passing lanes and getting steals, which he's really good at. He has really active hands defensively. But again, just an awesome job on Anthony Edwards individually. And our team just did a great job just swarming him and getting the ball out of that man's hands. Again, forced him into the 4 turnovers. Yeah, he had the most turnovers for everyone on the team. So again, just swarm Anthony Edwards. He can handle double teams. He can handle triple teams, but that's kind of the next step in Anthony Edwards' development. He's a willing passer. He's not a ball hog or anything like that, but just getting better at reading the entire court and kind of getting off the ball when he has to. So the most impressive thing for me is us only letting him take 13 shots because he wants to take more shots than that. But again, just swarming him, getting the ball out of his hands, and making Julius Randle take 17 shots, making Jaden McDaniels take 13 shots, making Ayu Dosunmu take 14 shots, because Anthony Edwards wants to take 20 or more shots, but we're just forcing him off his spot all game long. And I thought De'Aaron Fox was just the best primary defender on Anthony Edwards. Moving on, I think I mentioned it earlier, Champagnie, he has the 8 points. He's 3 for 9, 2 for 8 from 3, so he's 25% from 3. Does give us the 4 rebounds and the 2 steals. He was solid defensively out there. He always is. Usually does a good job rebounding, even if his 3 ball is off. But again, he's 2 for 8 from 3 this game. Vassell is 2 for 7, and they're much better shooters than that. We haven't had, like I said before, we haven't had a hot game shooting the 3 in this entire series. We're 11 for 32 in this particular game. So I'm just thinking for game 6, we'll probably have a breakout game and knock down some 3 balls. I feel like we're just due for a hot 3-point shooting night. But Champagnie just plays solid defense out there like he always does. even though he is 2 for 8 from three. Devin Vassell is 2 for 7 from three, so an off night shooting as well. Him and Champagny got a bunch of open looks, got a bunch of good shots they usually make down, and just weren't knocking them down for whatever reason. Sometimes you just have off game shooting wise. Vassell has the 12 points though, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, only 1 turnover. Does have 1 block. I'm trying to think who he blocked. He had a nasty ass block. I want to say it was on Rudy Gobert. I think that was actually Keldon Johnson that had the block on Rudy Gobert. But besides the 12 points, he's 4 for 10. He's a volume scorer out there. We just want Vassell to take probably somewhere between 10 to 14 shots every game and kind of see what happens. He's usually going to knock down a good amount of those looks. But again, him and Champagny have been off from three this entire series, and I think they're due for a big shooting game in Game 6. So we'll see what happens with that. Carter Bryant, he plays 12 minutes out there. He has the 1 turnover, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. As soon as he comes into the game, he's dribbling across half court. He immediately turns the ball over. He had 3 turnovers last game as well. Last game, Carter, he had 2 turnovers back to back, and I'm thinking we just have to get him out of the game. I was like, I love you, Carter, but you're a little too excited. Carter just plays with great energy. He's always so happy to be on the court and just so excited, and I love it. But he does have a turnover immediately when he comes into this game. Then the very next play, they get him the ball, and he knocks down a 3 ball. So he immediately redeemed himself out there. The 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Got some time to play defense on Anthony Edwards, and just get to see what the playoff intensity is like. I feel like Mitch Johnson is doing a great job getting Carter Bryant a little 10 to 15 minutes. If we're able to wrap up the this Minnesota series, Carter's definitely going to get some good minutes in the OKC series, and just does a good job defensively out there. And he's a very good 3-point shooter when he can get some open looks. He was like 33% in the regular season, but if you've been watching the Spurs games, if you're a Spurs fan, I think Carter's probably somewhere like a 36 to 38% 3-point shooter. Just has to get more looks, but his stroke is really good. He seems to knock them down a lot of the time when he's open. I pretty much always feel good when Carter Bryant goes up for his 3 ball, especially on his open ones. We already hit Champagny and Vassell. We'll come back to Keldon in a second. He was amazing. Dylan Harper has the 12 points. He's 5 for 10. Does miss his 1-3, but it's all good. He has the double-double with the 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Has the 2 turnovers, but it's no big deal. Dude, has the nasty one. I think it was on Ayu Dosunmu. He's coming up the court. It was so fucking nasty. He hits him with an in and out with the left hand, goes behind the back, left to right, hits like a hesitation, then goes back behind the back, right to left, just fucking flying down the lane and just kills the rim with a left-handed dunk. It was so nasty. I don't think I've ever, I'm sure it's happened, I don't think I've ever seen in all my time watching basketball somebody just going full speed, hit an in and out with their left hand, go behind the back. It was so weird. It was like behind the back, left to right. Then he kind of hesitated for a second, goes back behind the back, right to left, and just explodes down the lane. For a lefty dunk, I don't think I've ever seen someone hit a double behind the back at full speed like that. Dylan Harper's pace is so weird. He keeps people off balance. He's left-handed, you know he is, but he doesn't care. Send him right, send him left. It really doesn't matter for Dylan Harper. He's so ambidextrous. He does have the 10 rebounds. There's another play in the fourth quarter. Ayu Dosunmu is going up for a rebound. Dylan Harper just reaches over his back. It wasn't an over the back. There was no contact, but he reaches over him. I'm sure y'all remember the play. He's like fully extended. Snatches the rebound over Dosunmu's head. One dribble. Bullies Jaden McDaniels, and just gets an easy little left-handed stick back. Dylan's just so great, dude. There's Spurs fans saying, just people all around the league saying that he's better than Stephon Castle. People trying to argue he's better than De'Aaron Fox. I think Dylan's amazing. He's going to be a superstar. When we were in the regular season, I was thinking Dylan Harper is going to be at least an all-star for sure. At this point, with what we've seen in the playoffs, I think Dylan Harper, he's just a blue chip draft pick. I think he's absolutely for sure going to be a superstar in these next 2 or 3 years. And that double behind the back was just so fucking nasty. He just destroyed the rim in the open court. And when we close the games, it's De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, and Dylan Harper. I don't think it's weird offensively, honestly. People were questioning the fit when we brought De'Aaron Fox in, and I had my doubts about it, I guess. But I was just thinking, we just have three guards out there at all times. De'Aaron Fox can try to attack. If he doesn't have anything, he kicks it out to Castle. Now Castle attacks. If he doesn't have anything, kicks it out to Harper. Now Harper attacks. All three of those guys defensively, they just play such aggressive defense out on the perimeter. Then we'll have Fox, Harper, Castle, Wemby, then either Champagny or usually Devin Vassell to close the game. So if any of those guys get in the paint, they can kick it out to Wemby or Vassell. So we have two pretty good knockdown 3-point shooters. And then Castle, Fox, and Harper, they can all shoot the three as well. I think Harper is probably the best 3-point shooter out of those three guys, to be honest. He just seems like the most consistent 3-point shooter out of the group. De'Aaron Fox is the best ISO player out of those guys. He can kind of dance into his own three ball off the dribble and just create his own shot offensively, better than Castle and Harper can. Even though De'Aaron can be inefficient at times, he can just create his own shot in ISO better than Harper and Castle at this point in their career. But again, the double behind the back was just so gross. That rebound over Ayu Dosunmu was so nasty as well. And Spurs fans know it. I think the whole NBA is starting to see it. Dylan Harper is gonna be a superstar. I've heard other teams saying, like Bucks fans and shit, saying, "Oh, we'll take Dylan Harper and some draft picks and Keldon Johnson for Giannis Antetokounmpo." No, y'all fucking won't, dude. There was already talks in the regular season. The Bucks and the Spurs had their little discussion. I guess the Bucks reached out. Whatever happened, but during the trade talks, the Bucks asked for Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper. They're just shooting their shot, and the Spurs said, "Fuck no, you can't have Stephon Castle or Dylan Harper. They're both untouchable." And Spurs fans know why. The whole NBA is starting to see why those two guys are untouchable now. They're so amazing, offensively, defensively, just all around the court. We'll get back to KJ in a second. De'Aaron Fox, he has the 18 points. He's 6 for 15, so not great efficiency. 1 for 4 from 3. His 1 3, it was a corner 3. I want to say in the first quarter. So his 3 ball, it comes and goes. He has the 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Only 1 turnover, so that's great to see. Stephon Castle does have the 4 turnovers. De'Aaron Fox had 6 turnovers. I want to say in game 1, so that was really unlike him out there. But De'Aaron, his efficiency can come and go. He's plus 24 out there. Wembanyama is also plus 24. It's not a coincidence. We weren't doing it pretty much all regular season long. I don't know if Mitch Johnson was hiding it for the playoffs or what it was, but we're finally doing it. High pick and roll with Wemby and De'Aaron Fox. We're setting the screen maybe 2 or 3 feet above the 3-point line. De'Aaron Fox comes off. If you switch it, now Rudy Gobert is trying to guard De'Aaron Fox coming downhill. If you don't switch it, De'Aaron Fox is going to come off the screen and just have a wide open lane to the rim. Now Wemby's rolling. Wemby's coming down the middle with De'Aaron Fox. If this guy in the corner, if that defender doesn't tag Wemby, it's going to be a wide open alley-oop for Wemby. If that defender does come down to tag Wemby, De'Aaron Fox is kicking out to the corner for wide open threes for Champagny, Devin Vassell. And again, the plus 24 for Wemby and Fox isn't a coincidence. They're on the court together pretty much the whole time. Again, De'Aaron Fox's efficiency wasn't great in this game, but when De'Aaron Fox comes off the pick and roll, it's totally different from when Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper come off the pick and roll. Let's say Fox comes off, Castle or Harper comes off. All three of those guys are probably going to be able to get 2 feet in the paint, but De'Aaron Fox is going to get to that spot 1 or 2 seconds faster than Castle and Harper can, because De'Aaron Fox is just such a blur out there. So once he comes off the screen, he just gets in the paint so fast. He collapses the defense better than Castle and Harper can, because he's just so quick getting to the rim. He had plenty of looks this game that I felt like he could have knocked down. Let's say he makes one or two more of his shots. Even if he makes one more of his shots, then he's 7 for 15. He's just under 50% on the game, and we're not really questioning his efficiency. I thought De'Aaron had a really solid game. Did a great job guarding Anthony Edwards as well. Again, his efficiency wasn't great. Spurs fans, myself included, I'm a big De'Aaron Fox fan. I love De'Aaron. We'll nitpick De'Aaron because he's on a max contract, so we expect, I don't know. I've heard Spurs fans, we need 25 plus points from De'Aaron Fox in this game. And I never look at it like that. It'll be great if we can get De'Aaron to have, the 25, 30 plus point game on great efficiency, which he will have next game or at some point in the Western Conference Finals. But my main knock on De'Aaron Fox from time to time, I heard Sacramento Kings fans used to say this as well. His aggression will kind of come and go. He'll settle for mid-range jumpers and three balls, sometimes a little more than I feel like he should. But this game, he was really aggressive, just getting downhill. Like I said, him, Castle, and Harper, they're all going to get 2 feet into the paint, but De'Aaron Fox is going to get 2 feet into the paint faster than anybody, and he does the best job out of all of our guards collapsing the defense, because once he comes off that screen with Wemby, he's just such a blur getting inside the defense. Castle, he has 17 points. He's 8 for 11. Only takes 1 3 and misses his 3, but his efficiency is crazy out there. 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. He does have the 4 turnovers, but Castle, he's going to turn the ball over from time to time. He's still developing as far as his court vision and making reads, but he's gotten so much better from his rookie season until now, just in terms of being a playmaker and taking care of the ball. Again, he's still turnover prone, but it's just getting better and better pretty much every single game. Stephon Castle's stat line doesn't surprise me at all. He's basically fucking 80% from the field, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. Are any of you guys surprised about Stephon Castle's stat line? This kind of is just what he does. If you say, hey, Stephon Castle is going to have 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists next game and shoot 60%, well, I'll probably just say, yup, that's pretty much what Castle does. Just really consistent on offense and defense. His 3-ball is still developing, but just an amazing game for Castle. We'll live with the 4 turnovers because his defense is just so elite. He's so efficient offensively, and he's just becoming such a great playmaker for his boys out there as well. But awesome game for Stephon Castle. Moving on, Keldon Johnson. There's the 6th man of the year. There's the man we've been looking for. He has the 21 points, 2 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block. He's plus 17 out there. He's 8 for 11. Same thing as Stephon Castle. He's basically 80% from the field. He's 1 for 3 from 3. There was 1 3, I think it was in the first quarter. He catches it on the left wing. He's already hot. I think he already had 1 bully layup. I think he had his and one as well in the first quarter, so he's feeling good. Takes a quick 3 on the left wing that he ends up missing. I felt like he kind of rushed that one shot, just thinking back, but he already had 5 points at that time. He just comes out just so aggressive, just attacking the rim, just bullying dudes out there. And this is kind of the Keldon Johnson we all know and love. He has 21 points in 22 minutes. Hyper efficient out there. Just the aggression was there. He was playing more aggressive than he has in any of the games in this series so far. Keldon, I'll always make the point, Keldon has tunnel vision. When Keldon brings the ball up, if he dribbles the ball across the half-court line, as soon as he comes across half-court, I'm usually thinking, find Dylan Harper, find De'Aaron Fox, find Stephon Castle. Keldon's not great at playmaking for his teammates. He has 0 assists in this game. Does have the 2 steals and 1 block, but when he brings the ball across half court and he's dribbling the ball, just to be totally honest, usually good things don't happen if we have Keldon trying to run off the pick and roll or trying to attack in like a full court. Say it's like a fast break situation and Keldon's bringing the ball up and trying to be the playmaker. He's not great at doing that, but Mitch Johnson has turned his tunnel vision almost into his greatest strength. Just come off the bench, Keldon, get the ball, and just attack the rim. We don't need you to play make for the rest of your teammates. Just attack and attack and attack. And that's all he did this entire game. That's what he's done all season long and just has an amazing game. Keldon, he's been off kind of all playoffs, to be totally honest. We don't need Keldon to do this every single game. But we just need like 1 or 2 games like this in every playoff series, and Keldon is giving us what we need out there. He really came out and just had a huge impact on the game from the time he came into it. Biggest play for Keldon this game is his 1 block. He has the block on Rudy Gobert, and he's fucking pumped. He's screaming at the crowd. Keldon brings all the energy. He's the heart and soul of the team, and it's just awesome to see Keldon finally get his breakout game in the playoffs. And then on to the big dog himself. Wemby plays just under 33 minutes. That's great to see. We don't need him to play 40 minutes in this game. He has 27 points, 17 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks. He does have the 4 turnovers out there. They were swarming him. Same thing with Wemby. Just like I say with Keldon, when Wemby brings the ball up across half court, I'm usually thinking, find Harper, find Fox, find Castle, come up and set a screen, and then kind of set our offense up through one of our guards. When Wemby brings the ball up in like a fast break or something like that, there's times where Wemby, he'll be driving into the paint and he'll get into a car crash. He'll get a charging foul against him, or he'll lose the ball. He'll get ripped trying to go into the paint. So that's one thing Wemby's still developing, but he had a couple of nasty dimes. He does have the 5 assists in this game. He had one where he is bringing the ball up. This kind of goes against my point. He's bringing the ball up. It's probably a 3-on-2. Brings it all the way down, comes into the paint, kicks it out to Champagnie for an easy wide open 3. Then the second 3 Champagnie hit. This one's in the half court. Wemby gets double teamed. If y'all remember the play, it was a nasty dime. He hits a wraparound pass. I think it's around Julius Randle's back. Just nasty ass wraparound out to Champagnie for another wide open corner 3 that he knocks down. It's kind of the next step in Wemby's game. He's a willing passer. He's a willing playmaker. He has good court vision. He's just still getting better with his timing, when to make the pass, when the defense is collapsing, and just getting better at things like that. But he's 9 for 16. He's above 50% from the field. He's 2 for 5 from 3, so it's good to see his 3 ball starting to go down. And as soon as the game gets started, there's probably 4 or 5 foul calls in the first 5 minutes of the game. Wemby elbows Naz Reid in the face last game. I made a video about it. I thought it was a dirty play. Even as a Spurs fan, Wemby sees Naz Reid's face and his jaw, and he says, I'm going to fucking take this home with you, Naz Reid. Here's a nice fat elbow for you and your entire team. If you want to give me hugs all game long, y'all are going to hit me in the head and just be grabbing me. Even on that play where he elbowed Naz Reid, Jaden McDaniels is holding Wemby's left arm with literally both of his hands. That doesn't excuse Wemby from elbowing Naz Reid in the face. Wemby's not a dirty player, of course, but I thought that was a dirty play. But Wemby just trying to send a message. And it would have been better if Wemby didn't elbow Naz Reid in the face. We probably win the last game. But the refs come out. Wemby sent the message with the elbow, and they call the 5 fouls within probably the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game. They really set the tone of the game. Wemby shoots the 9 free throws. He draws all sorts of fouls, and he really got the refs' attention just to say, look, guys, they're grabbing me, they're holding me, they're hitting me in the head almost every single play, and y'all aren't calling any of these fouls off the ball. My last point for Wemby, it reminds me of Shaquille O'Neal when Shaq was in his prime. Of course, they do it completely differently. Shaq is just all down in the post, all down low. But both guys, they would get fouled off ball almost every single play. Same thing happens with Wemby. If the refs call every single foul, Wemby, Shaq, they're going to be taking 20 plus free throws every single game, and it wouldn't be really fun to watch. So I get it. I get that they can't call every single foul that happens to these guys off the ball. Otherwise, it's just going to be a free throw shooting contest out there. But thought the refs did a great job. Just again, calling 5 fouls in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game, kind of setting the tempo and letting the guys know we're going to let you play physical, but it's not going to be just a big old grabbing, smacking, and hugging Victor Wembanyama fest like it was for the whole series up until this point. So the whole team was amazing. We get the win. Hopefully we can come back for game 6. I feel like we're due for a good 3-point shooting night, so hopefully we can come out, knock down some threes, and wrap up the series and get ready for OKC. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 7 billion subscribers. Let me know what you thought about the Spurs performance. Like the video, hate the video, tell your friends about it, and we'll see y'all next time.